Alrighty, it is Tuesday, but I have to go back to Monday really quick. So, after I recorded audio, I crashed until 3:40. I jumped up and went back on the computer to finish the pages. And for the latter half of me working on the pages, Monica and I watched the first episode of Surune. If you don't know what that is, that's Kyoto Animation's new archery series they just released. I was slightly not paying attention because I was working at the same time trying to add text to the pages and then upload them to the locked blog. But I saw enough to feel this. The pacing of the storytelling is a little wonky. I feel like the way they arranged information made me kind of frustrated with it. Monica initially liked the redheaded boy, the one that's I don't know, really social and popular, and then he has that weird cousin. I looked at him and I knew what kind of personality he was gonna have, and that I wasn't gonna like him. And then she eventually learned to not like him either. I don't know, maybe how the series will unfold will change our opinion of him. So far, we don't have a good opinion of him. I like the class president guy. He's gorgeous. But overall, I feel like the series doesn't feel like it has the usual full-scale KyoAni polish. Like it doesn't feel very detailed like how Euphonium and Hyoka did. So I don't know. I'm just I feel kind of towards it. But it's definitely more interesting than other stuff that we've seen in the last 2 seasons. So we're gonna watch it anyway. I think we ended up getting off and going to bed between 5 and 6. I have no idea. So I woke up at 10 p.m. after a long struggle to get some sleep. I managed to get up and work on the pages while editing audio. I noticed right away the first audio was corrupted for some reason, so I had to go save it from the recycle bin and then reconvert it. And thankfully that worked. I completed 4 audio files by the time I finished the drafts, and it was 12 midnight, and I just could not go any further than that. So I went to bed. I was aiming to wake up between 2 and 3 a.m., and thankfully I managed to wake up at 2. So I went straight back to work on the audio and then line arting pages 5 and 6. I managed to finish page 6 at about 2:42, and I made some distance with page 5, but I didn't finish. I still had 2 panels, was the top 2 panels I hadn't finished, but I was way too tired to go further than 3:30, so I just went back to bed. So after I went to bed, I woke up at 5 o'clock. And I jumped up and went straight back to work on page 5. I completed it. I assembled all the pages and passed them off to Monica at 5:40. I got off about 4 minutes to 6 a.m. During that time, I was messing around with my vision boards. So I ended up kicking Monica out of bed at 6. I updated my journals and planners, and I turned on Monica's laptop to work on my video. Set my video to compress at about 6:30. It finished about 7:30, I think it was, and then I converted at 8, and I think that it finished converting at about I don't remember when it finished converting. All I know is that the very last compression that I did for it was at 8:10. But yeah, aside from all that, we ate breakfast, we split up. She went to work on the pages, and she finished at about it was sometime after 8 o'clock she gave it to me. I loaded the video and then I started working on the pages. So yeah, she ended up hitting bronze, and she ended up paying for food with some of the stash. She said she used about $30. In the process, she actually got that eggnog ice cream early, and we tried it, and that was interesting. So yeah, I got off at 10. And at the time I was only halfway through shading through page 5. I think I had already finished page 6 though, because for some reason, even though there's less on page 5, page 5 looks more complicated, whereas page 6 isn't. It's more straight away, even though there's a lot more panels on it. So I got farther with page 6 than page 5. And so we ate lunch, and then after lunch we crashed for a bit. I woke up at I think it was 12:30. I don't really remember. I know I overshot. I was a little late to get up, and I completed pages 5 and 6, and then I finished and loaded them at like 2 p.m. But then I ended up staying on a little bit longer past 3 to fix pages 4 and 6, because like the actions in page 4 were still not obvious, and I had been worried about them, even though I tried really hard to amend them. So Sheila and I looked at it together, and we tried to figure out what would help it. And then I changed some of the dialogue to make the actions look a little bit more obvious, and so I loaded those. So that got fixed, and then after that we split up again. So she went back on the computer, and I'm right here recording now. So far the only thing we have not done today is take a shower. I don't know if she's not gonna want to do that. She's gonna want to do that a little bit later, because like it's only 3, and it's gonna be a while before we have to go to bed. So I don't know. I'm kind of feeling right now. Is there anything else? I really wanted to work on the scripts today. I'm so mad I didn't get to do that. So I'm gonna try to aim for tomorrow instead, because I need to get those done, and I don't want to be lagging with those. In fact, I really would like to get through chapter 43 also. I keep thinking about points I need to make with chapter 42, because like not everything gets covered in the sprint that I did, because Fuir has to mention a lot of things, like why he thinks Pasha malfunctioned, and why were they trying to catch them in the first place, because none of that ever got brought up. None of it. So I don't know, I'm just I feel so stressed out. Okay, but we're almost done with this. Tomorrow's hump day, and hump day is pages 7 and 8. I think it's this a continuing scene from Shasta and Marie talking to each other. They also talk to Flora for a second, and then Dominique says something, and then that's the last that we see from that scene, and then we go back to the trade room again. So like Byron's talking to the others, and I feel like it's important to emphasize Byron, because Byron becomes one of the focal points of this story, because up to this point he's been somewhat of a background character. The major side characters we've been mostly focusing on are out of the 3 of them are Labelle and Clotilda, and he's just been like an accessory of Philippe, sort of, or an accessory of Clotilda, and he goes from looking like he's going to be an accessory of Labelle to like being one of the major focuses. So yeah, I don't really know if I can say I intended this, because like I feel like it happened like organically, because originally the very first time that I started building this story like 2-3 years ago, him and Clotilda were just inserted. They didn't really have a purpose. They were just new characters to be new characters. And then I had like a certain purpose for them that kept changing throughout every time I was coming up with different plots, or trying to like amend the main plot. And initially when I went straight into this one, I didn't think that I was going to need him that much. I think very similarly to Basil, I didn't think I was going to be needing Basil at all, and the fact that he ended up being a bigger foil than I wanted him to be. I really just wanted to keep his mouth shut. But I feel like Byron is going to be very similar to Shasta, in the sense that even though I never intended Shasta to be a long-running character or a beloved character, I think that Byron is definitely going to steal the spotlight. And I don't know if people are going to love him or hate him after what he does in chapter 41. So I don't know. Hope for the best. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Wednesday, but I have to go back to Tuesday really quick. So we took a shower, and then suddenly out of nowhere Monica decided to cut her hair. I was confused because we agreed to only cut her hair in May, right when the summer starts, but like she felt like the 6 months length of hair she had was annoying, so she wanted to get rid of it. I don't know. I still feel like it was too soon for her to do that. After that, we got in bed about 4. Again, I didn't get any sleep at all. I got out of bed at 8, and I went to work on the pages. I finished the drafts at 9, and then I completed the liner for page 8 at 9:40, and then I got off at 10 because I was just way too tired to continue. I did get I think a panel or 2 into page 7, but like not enough to complete it. So yeah, I went to bed. I did successfully sleep. I woke up at 1, and then I got out of bed at 1:30. As I was line writing Flora in one of the panels on page 7, out of nowhere, my .38 pen broke. The tip broke. And I have no idea why. All I know is that it went from smoothly writing to suddenly writing very scratchily. So I think that the ball must have fell into the tip or something. I don't know. All I know is that it doesn't work anymore, which is frustrating because I still had a fair amount of ink left in it. I think I had like at least like an inch of ink or less than an inch of ink in it. And like, it's not really done yet, but now it's useless. And I don't know how to fix it. I really don't. It doesn't write very well. It can't write straight words anymore. So I went back to the bedroom. I got one of the .38 pens from the travel kit that I usually bring with me on Monica's appointments when I want a line art. Yeah, I got one of the pens from there and I swapped it out. I haven't been bringing the liner pens with me in a while because whenever I go to Monica's appointments, I usually just do storyboards, so I don't really need liner pens. So yeah, now I have this useless barrel. I just toss it. Okay, so I finished the pages and passed them off to Monica's computer at 2:30, and then I went back to bed. So yeah. I woke up at 5:30. I kicked Monica out of bed at 6. I updated my journals and planners. We ate breakfast, and then we went on at 7. I brought whatever I had for chapter 42 with me, and I typed it out. I changed the order in which all the subjects were brought up. And I left off with Fuyar explaining to Pasha why he was there. And I didn't get to go any further than that because Monica was finished coloring in the pages. I shaded the pages until 9:30, and then I took a break, like a half an hour before lunch. We ate lunch, and then Monica pointed out that she needed some specific groceries. So after lunch, she decided to go to Albertsons. So that's where she is. I'm recording a bit early. So here's some in-between information that happened. Apparently, the Token Ranbu game staff announced the next information for the next event, and then some asshole went and hacked the game and revealed images, all the surprise images for the event, and like the Japanese fans are annoyed because that keeps happening. And how I found out about this is because somebody brought up on Tumblr. They were like, don't retweet it, don't reblog it, don't spread the images around because it might actually affect whether or not the staff will want to try to block international IPs from playing the game. And apparently, according to one of the Japanese fans, that this has been happening this is not new. This has been happening for the last so many events. So I don't know what to think of it. All I could say is this: even though I shouldn't have, but I don't play the game. So I actually went looking for these leaks because they said that the leaks were in the replies to the actual staff's tweets. So I went to Twitter and I looked at the staff's tweets and the replies, and I found the image of the new sword that's supposed to be coming out. And at least I think he's a new sword. I can't imagine him being anything else. I looked at him and I'm like, okay, he's actually pretty good looking. It's at this point it's hard to say who he's gonna be. Some people have speculated that he's actually the original Yaman Bangiri, but I really hope not. I really hope not. I hope he's gonna be like something completely different because that would be helpful. He doesn't have the Kunihiro design, so most likely he won't be, unless I'm hoping he won't be. However, he does wear I think he wears like a dark suit underneath his cape. So I'm assuming that he might be a member of the Osafune, but I'm not really sure because they're the only group that actually wears black clothing or gray clothing or whatever. So I don't know if he's gonna be Osafune or not. I did save his picture even though I shouldn't have, but I'm not gonna spread it. I just saved it as a reference. I think he's pretty good looking. He reminds me of the way his hair is drawn. It reminds me of the Senua from Katsugeki. So, other than that, that's pretty much that happened on that note. The only other thing I did today while I was coloring was I was researching how to resin cast things, and it feels like it's a little bit more complicated than I personally would like it to be. I don't know if I ever get into sculpting doll heads. I really don't know if I want to get it professionally casted by a service like Haru casting, or if I want to try to do it myself. A part of me feels like I kind of want to try to do it myself anyway, because I don't like the idea of going through a middleman to get what I want. But at the same time, it's going to be a lot more expensive, and dealing with resin can be a little bit hazardous, which is why I kind of feel like maybe I shouldn't try to do it myself. But at the same time, I feel like if I could do it myself, then I could probably, sell some of the heads. I don't know how I feel about selling the heads if I got them through Haru. So Haru did not have any information on how much it costs to just do one head or a couple of heads. I know that someone on the Dollfie Dream forums did get 2 heads casted by Haru, so it is possible. I don't know. I'm up in the air with it. I also want to get heads casted in the if I do end up getting a smart doll boy body in the tea color. I kind of feel like I want to get some of the heads casted in those colors also, but I don't know if that's possible. Yeah, I figure I'll worry about it later when I actually get down to sculpting the heads. But for now, I feel like I'm just gonna think about it. The reason why I got so confused about this is because while I was searching, I did only find one company that makes doll skin color to cast with, and there was only 3 choices. There was like a light choice, a medium choice, and a dark choice. And like even like if the least amount of drops you can put into the resin, it didn't look like it would match any of the doll bodies that I wanted to match. So that's where I got a little concerned. So I don't know if I need to like try to like homebrew my own skin tone or something, or maybe just try to match it, afterward in paint. But I think it would just be easier to ask Haru Casting to match it for me, since they probably have more experience messing with resin than I will when I start. So yeah, my other idea is resin casting little charms and whatnot for the doll clothing that we want to make. Like, I don't know, hearts and stars and oh, what else? I can't think of it. The flowers. I don't know. And that seems to be easy to do because like there's plenty of women who do who make jewelry that cast their own custom little shapes and whatnot. So that's an idea. I'm not sure if I want to go through with that. Yeah, I think that's virtually. I feel like there's anything else that I can possibly say about casting and going forward with it. The 2 types of the things I really want to make are mini Dollfie Dream heads, because there are no good mini Dollfie Dream heads. There's not a variety of them. There's only like the DD1, the DD10, and then like any other renditions of the DD1 that have come out in the last while, because they have like a couple of modified versions, one with the open mouth and one with a closed mouth, or an erased mouth. That's technically what it was. I don't like either of them, so it's just so frustrating. And then the other thing I want is boy heads, because boy dolls are relatively new to the Dollfie Dream fandom. There are no good boy head molds, even for the smart doll. So I feel like it's important to try to like sculpt something for that too. So those are my 2 goals. I don't know if I don't know how well that's gonna turn out for me. All I know is that I want to attempt it. Something that's like really been on my mind, and it worries me that I won't be able to jump on this fast enough before someone else tries to do it before me. So that's my concern. I don't know. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Thursday, but I have to go back to Wednesday really quick. So, I ended up resting until, I think it was like 11:40, I'm not really sure. At the time that I woke up, Monica had already returned. I ended up completing the art by about like 1 p.m., I'm not really sure. I took a break and we left to go hit the Japanese bakery. I only managed to find 1 bottle while I was out there. We got back at 2. We ended up buying from the bakery 2 curry pon and 2 red bean pon. So I finally got to eat a whole curry pon by myself and a whole bean pon by myself. That was fun. Although I kind of wish that I wasn't on the computer at the time I was eating them, because like I didn't really like get to like savor them. I completed and loaded the pages at about 2:50, and then we left for the women's group. So during the women's group, we talked to Tiffy about what are we going to do about Monica's doctor and her medication, because they want to change it. And then eventually Nicolina and Dinar came, and we talked with them for a little while. And then we left for the tenant meeting at about 4. It wrapped up by 4:30, and then we went straight home and then straight to bed. So I woke up at about 8. I went to work on the pages. I finished and printed out page 9's non-photo blue at 9 p.m. And then I printed out page 10 about 9:30. I line uttered various panels before I got tired and got off at like 10 p.m. And then I went to bed. I woke up at 2 a.m. and then jumped out of bed to finish line arting pages 9 and 10. I finished page 10 at about 3 a.m., but then I was like way too tired to finish 9. So my goal was to wake up by like 4 or 5 or whatever. Mostly 5. I was really trying to wake up at 5, and I ended up waking up at 6. So I immediately resumed layering the very last panel for page 9. And the process, I found out that I started my period. I mean, it makes sense. I usually get it every 4 weeks, and like this month was 5 weeks long, so of course I got it. So I took a painkiller. I finished learning page 9. We ate breakfast, and then I went back on to assemble the pages. After I passed them off to Monica, I typed out the remainder of what I wrote for chapter 42, and then I caught off and went straight to the restroom. And I spent most of the morning in the restroom. Even though I took a painkiller, I feel like it took a long time to take effect. I mean, like within like an hour or 2, it just felt like it wasn't working. So yeah. While I was sitting in the restroom, I ended up sprinting through the script for chapter 42. I got caught up with my journals and planners. At about 9, I ended up asking Monica how far she had gotten coloring in the pages, because these 2 pages had to be in detailed color. They're not going to be in the solid color. And all of chapter 41 is going to be in detailed color. Not like, RGB, but like various shades of different grays and blacks and whatnot. So yeah. So I ended up taking a rest, and I played around with my muse book until like lunch. We ate lunch, and then I went back on at 11. I think she joined me like a little while afterward. I finished the script at 11:30. I printed it out, and then she passed the pages up to me, so I spent up until like from then until 1:38 just working on the artwork. And I got all of it done except for the effects, but I was too tired, so we took a break. In the process, we hit Five Below and Target, and we just wandered around both stores. We picked up a few things at Target, mostly stuff to celebrate Halloween next week. And we're trying the lemon bubbly. So far, it tastes like candy without the sugar. It's kind of iffy. Oh yeah, everyone's putting up their Christmas stuff. Oh, thank God, I'm so happy. So we got back from Five Below at about 3. I don't remember if it was like 3:30 or if it was actually just 3. But I spent up until like 5 o'clock just finishing off the pages. I add the effects, and then I add the text, and I amended some of the dialogue a little bit. And so far, I think that this chapter is by far like one of the worst chapters in this volume, and it's on the account that there's not enough reaction images in between characters doing stuff to each other. And I feel like if you look at it in retrospect, there kind of is no way to fit those in. But the storytelling really suffers from the fact that the characters don't really get much time to react, as in just a panel for just straight reacting. So yeah, it doesn't help the flow between scenes. So yeah, it's too late now. I have to keep going. In the meanwhile, it's just a small in between chapter. It does wrap everything up for this specific section. Actually, technically, you could say the same thing about chapter 42. I feel like that technically wraps up this arc better than chapter 40 does. So yeah, I ended up loading the pages and then I got off at about 5ish and now I'm recording audio. So this is what I want to do. Tonight I'm starting pages 11 and 12 and I have to take painkiller again at like 8:30. I don't know if I'm going to be up around then and take painkiller, if I'm going to remember or not. I'm not sure if actually I'm going to need it because usually by the second day of my period I don't hurt as much, so, but you know, it's still the same day, so it might hurt a little. Um, when I pass the pages off to Monica, I want to work on coloring in both the volume 3 live journal cover and chapter 23 extra 1 and 2. I feel like chapter 23 extra 1 and 2 is the most important thing that needs to be done. I also need to print out all of the drafts for the extras I was working on during the tenant meeting, because I actually brought my clipboard with me and I was refining them and I didn't have a chance to print them out. So when I have a chance to do that tomorrow, I want to get that done first and then work on the coloring, so I can like hopefully line art when I have free time, line art all the stuff that's been sitting around. So most likely those things are going to get done within the next week. Also, I want to try to finish queuing the remaining chapters to LiveJournal for volume 2. And then I need to queue all the chapters to Tumblr on volume 2 as well. And then load some of volume 2 to the official. So I feel like the Tumblr chapters are going to be a little bit more of a hassle for me. So I'm going to do that a little bit later. But I feel like what's most important is just loading at least half of volume 2 to the official site. So that's what I want to do. Volume 1 ends the first week of November, which is why I want to prepare for it. And we only have like about 1 week left of October. So I want to get that out of the way. I think chapter 8 just came out today. I'm not really sure. I haven't really checked it. That means that next week is going to be 9 and the week after that's going to be 10. So that's going to be something. Is there anything else that's on my mind? I think that's virtually it. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Friday, but I have to go back to Thursday really quick. So after I recorded, I went straight to bed. I got out of bed at 8. Again, I don't think I slept at all. I don't remember sleeping. I remember just like laying there trying to sleep. So I went to work on pages 11 and 12. I finished the drafts at about like 9 p.m. I inked a few panels, but ultimately I got too tired to continue and I got off at 9:30. So I ended up waking up again about midnight. I got up like possibly, I think it was like 12, 40, 30 something, I don't really know. I remember is that by the time I actually turned on the computer, it was only a few minutes before 1. I finished line arting. I knocked out page 12 at like 1:40, and then I knocked out page 11 at like 2:30ish. And Monica was up while I was on, so I ended up showing her some of the things that I was looking at. For example, because I had gone looking for a specific song from the Tales of Zestiria soundtrack, YouTube recommended me all of the live orchestra songs. So I found White Light and I played that for her. I also played for her a segment of Illuminate and Innocence and Kaze no Uta from the Cross series. And I really like Illuminate. I can't believe they actually got Minami to sing it live. I liked Innocence. I was a little sad they didn't get a choir to sing the lyrics to that, but I guess the lyrics aren't that great for our orchestra. But having the whole entire choir sing Kaze no Uta was fun. I feel like, yeah, that was perfect to put that towards the end of the concert. It's a really good choice. So yeah, that really got me going, and she liked them too. So she went back to bed, and then I passed the pages off to her at about like 3:14, I think it was. So I got tired, I got off, and I went to bed. I found a bunch of anime recommendations while I was on, so I ended up like linking some of those. And so the next morning, we actually attempted to watch some of that, but that's getting ahead. I need to stay in order. All right, so the next morning we woke up at 7. We did not wake up at 6. We did not wake up at 6:30. We woke up at 7, so I had to kick her out of bed. I ended up playing for her all the music that Pentatonics uploaded to their YouTube channel, so we're listening to Christmas music while she was making breakfast. And while we ate breakfast, we watched some of those anime recommendations that I mentioned. We tried watching the first episode of that Boarding School Juliet. That was awful. And then we tried to watch the first so many minutes of Gridman, but she was already done eating by that point, and she didn't really like how it was starting, and we didn't get that far into it. So I want to try again and watch it because it's like I heard so many good things about it. And at this point, I'm like so desperate to see something. Okay, so the only other thing we do is check on Conception, and I feel like it's such a disappointing series. I mean, first off, they have non-sex. She gets non-pregnant, and then they have a non-child who does not even regard them as their parents. It's actually more like they release the god that she's the priestess of. That's what it feels like. It just feels like, why couldn't you just do that? Oh god, it just feels so like boring. So we gave up on that. What a letdown of a series. In the meanwhile, so I spent the morning working on the coloring for the Volume 3 Smack Jeeves cover in tandem with the Chapter 23 extras 1 and 2. I ended up loading the last 3 chapters of Volume 2 to the mirrors. I updated the Weebly with the last 3 chapters of Volume 4, the pictures. And I was about to start making I was about to start making new pages to load the next volume onto, but I needed to also print out the drafts for the chapter 24 and 27 extras, so I did that also. And then I got off shortly after Monica passed the pages off to me because I was exhausted, she was exhausted, and we wanted to go do something fun. So at around 10, we hit the bank, we deposited the last of the cash. It would turn out to be just $10. We went straight to the Target on Euclid, and we ran around to see what they had. They still haven't switched out to all their Christmas stuff yet. It's taking a while though. They were definitely messing with the book section, so that's coming along. Can't wait until their Christmas stuff is up. Okay, so she wanted to get some hair clips, so we got her some hair clips. I told her to wait until we go to Walmart to check and see if they had the hair clips over there cheaper. And like she said she knew for a fact Walmart wouldn't have them, but then when we went and Walmart had them, but Walmart had them for cheaper and twice as many. And I was just like, ugh, I told her. I told her. So while we were there, we went to see if they had any grandma's chicken. They only had 1 box of it, and a bunch of other boxes were sitting on top of it, and I had to like pull it out. They also had 1 box of rigatoni and pesto, so I got that. And there was they also were selling the goat mac and cheese, so we got that. And when we went home, it was about, I think it was somewhere between like 12:30 and 1. So well, the moment we got home, we ate lunch, we made the grandma's chicken and salad, and I got olives of mine. And then I worked on all the coloring for pages 11 and 12. I got the core of the coloring done by 3, so it's 3 right now. All I need to do is add the snow and tweak the backgrounds, and then add any last effects, and then put the text on it. So I'm hoping to get back on between 4 and 5, so I'm going to say like 4:30, and finish what I was doing. Right now, Monica's talking to Stina. Stina suddenly just called us. I don't know what she's telling her. I figure I will have to report that tomorrow when I record, because like I said, she's still talking to her. So I think that's virtually it. I don't really know if I have anything else to say. I want to get this chapter up and finished tonight so I can focus on everything I need to catch up with tomorrow. So that means loading all of Volume 2 to the official site, loading all the Volume 2 covers to Tumblr, as well as writing out to a custom summaries for each one. I feel like the custom summaries usually end up being the hardest thing, but like I've taken a break enough off of it to like be able to think of something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Is there anything else that's on my mind? I think that's virtually it. I really honestly can't think of anything else to say. Alright then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Saturday, but I have to go back to Friday really quick. So, where I left off, Christina had called and Monica was talking to her. So, when I finished recording, she was still talking to her, so I had to just update all my journals and planners, waiting for her to get off the phone. So she basically talked all about her boyfriends. And then like the smallest footnote she had to make was that something was wrong with Mom's foot, so Mom had to go back to the hospital. We had a feeling something was wrong, and the mom said it wasn't a big deal. So we're kind of not surprised that she had to go back to the hospital. Don't know what's going to happen to her. Christina's not really been keeping good tabs on her. The only reason why Christina called was because she got a new phone number. We figured she changed numbers in order for her to avoid hearing from her husband that she abandoned. So, yeah, I don't know. So after that, Monica and I went straight to bed. It was about like between 5 and 6. I woke up at 8, but I didn't want to get up because I'm on vacation, so I went back to sleep, and then I woke up at midnight. I think it was like 12:30, and so I went back to sleep because I didn't want to get up. I was on vacation, and then I woke up at 3, and I was like, okay, fine, I have to do the pages. So I finally got up. I finished pages 1 and 2. I added all the text, and I loaded the whole chapter, and then after that, I spent the rest of the time multitasking between coloring and loading chapters to the official site. So I got all the pages for volume 1 created, but I only have up to chapter 14 loaded. And I didn't work on it at the moment. I only worked on it today. This morning I haven't worked on it again. So I need to get back to it at some point today. I'm not really sure. That's me getting ahead of myself. I need to stay on in chronological order. So Volks finally put 2B and 9S on display without their masks. So people have been running around at all the different Volks shops trying to get photos of them. And so far, this is my overall opinion. I actually kicked Monica out of bed at like 4, I think it was, like 4 or 5. I kicked her out of bed so she can look at this. So basically, 2B looks awful. Now that we actually see the placement of her eyes, her nose looks really exaggerated and her lips are way too high. And she just looks awful to me. I would not buy her. And it frustrates me because I think she came out with much better eyebrow coloring than a 9S. 9S's eyebrow coloring is way too like gray for me, whereas hers is actually more on the brown side, which means that she can actually wear other wigs, whereas 9S is going to be like limited to whatever he can wear, which is frustrating. That's like my only beef with him. I mean, I don't know how to deal with that. What do I do? Get some like electrical tape. Electrical tape's very forgiving. Get some electrical tape and just cover up his eyebrows so that way he can wear darker color wigs. I don't know. But yeah, as for 9S, his face mold is nice. We were looking at the only existing front facial picture of him. And we both agreed something felt a little strange. And Monica couldn't put her finger on it. I'm not sure. I think it might be his eyebrows, but maybe it could actually just be the face mold itself. They have the kind of face molds that, depending on what angle you get them at, changes their facial expression. So most of the time he looks sad, except for when you angle his face upward, then he looks like he's happy. And a lot of well sculpted faces are like this, but in some cases, like in this case, something just feels off about it. I don't know what it is. I'm still trying to figure it out. Maybe it could be the lighting. Maybe it could be the placement of his eyeballs. Because like placing the eyeballs in the doll's head could actually affect the success of the face. I don't know how to explain it. Because like there's a tendency for people to place the eyes in like kind of like sideways wrong, and they look a little wall-eyed, and it's just a hit and miss kind of thing. So I don't know if that's the case for him. And I think he looks fine. I feel like this makes it so much harder to not buy him. I really want to get him, so I don't know what to do. I'm still waiting for an unflattering picture. We're gonna talk about this next month because obviously we can't get him this month. We already blew through all of our money. We can't possibly buy him right now. Okay, so let's see. I kicked Monica out of bed again at 6 because after I showed her 9S, she went back to sleep. So I went and kicked her out of bed, and then I got off at I'm gonna guess and say like 6:30. We ate breakfast, and then we hit Vaughn's because we had to get more eggs. And we got home at about 8. We took a shower, and then we crashed until 10. So I got up at 10 o'clock, and I went back to work on the cover, the Volume 3 cover for Smack Jeeves and the extras. I completed all the coloring for the extras except for the background. That's all I need to do. And then I need then I need to do the effects, and then I need to add the text. And then as for the cover, I completed all the characters except for Dominique, Fouillard, and Philippe. So I also feel a little weird about how Pasha doesn't really blend into the group in the front. So I'm thinking about throwing some kind of color behind him so that way he blends a little bit better. The issue with this is that he's not really like on his own layer. His liner is not on its own layer. It's just his coloring is. So I'm gonna have to like put the color behind his coloring and then like crop out all for all the liner area. I don't know. It's gonna be annoying. But yeah. Where did I leave off? I actually think I don't remember if his layer is on top of everybody or if it's underneath everybody. I have to look at the organization of it. I think it might actually be in front of everybody. But actually, I honestly think I need to throw this color that's supposed to be behind him on top of the line art, because like I just needed to like just fade everybody out a little bit so the way that he stands out and they don't. I don't know. That's what we're saying. So yeah, I finished it about like I think it was like 1. So now I'm recording. I don't know when I want to get back to work. I feel like I could either finish off the extras or I could finish off the cover. I feel like technically the extras would be easier because like it's simpler, but the cover I'm more excited for that, which is why I want to finish that first, and then I have to do stuff with the official site. So I'm like, I don't know which one I want to do. I'm thinking about just going with the cover because that's the one I actually am more excited for. Is there anything else that's on my mind besides that? Nothing else is coming to mind, honestly. I'm quite tired. I wrote down in my journal here that I need to set up the 4-panel comics because like I have all of them planned, but I haven't drawn anything out for any of them. So the one that I actually have sitting waiting is a Happy 30 Chapters. I haven't touched it in weeks. I think I started at the beginning of this month or the month before, and I just haven't moved. I haven't progressed with it. Also, I have one for chapter 26 I can knock out really quickly. And if I do, then that means that I'll be completely done with one of the 2 extras for chapter 26. And, what else was there? I have to put text on the first extra for that set in order to begin with both of them. Other than that, I have, what else was there? So I know I have one for chapter 24. And then I have one for, oh no, that's it. I think I only have as far as 24. I don't remember if I had any other ones besides that one. Oh, whatever. Okay, I need to look into it. I need to figure. Oh no, I have one for chapter 25, I think. And yeah, I think that's virtually it. I don't remember if I made any other ones, but I need to sit down and actually like draw through them and stuff. Alrighty then. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Alrighty, it is Sunday, but I have to go back to Saturday really quick. So I ended up playing around with some of my pens and pencils. Monica was showing me the pencil extender that she has and how it works with all of the small little pencil butts I've collected over the course of working on Live NPC. So I drew some stuff. I ended up drawing a new design for that new character I was talking about. It's Fouillard's nephew. I keep bringing him up every now and then. The only thing I did was change his bangs a little bit because it bothered me that his bangs pretty much just look like everybody else's, like a side part, and I felt like he needed something else going on with his hair. So I ended up taking inspiration from Hizamaru from Token Rambu, and I gave him a little fleck of hair randomly going down the middle of his head, and I kept reorganizing and organizing his hair. I scanned his head that I did afterward. I went back on, scanned it, and I ended up modifying on the computer, and I finally ended up with something I liked. I looked at the laurel flowers, and I decided to go through with making his hair pink because I wasn't sure if the laurel was a pink flower. It definitely was. Maybe I knew when I first was selecting it that it was a pink flower, and I completely forgot that it was. I don't know. As far as I remember, I feel like I randomly selected his name. So it's a pink flower with little dark red details here and there. I thought about giving him red hair clips for his hair, but Monica said he didn't need it, so I just passed on it. Other than that, while I was working on him, I also decided to finally finish coloring in the first character design I did of him. And instead of going with light pastel colors, I ended up giving him dark, like a dramatic dark color. And like, it looks really, really, it looks really good on him. Oh my god, it's perfect. I can't even. Oh my god, I love it so much. So while I was at, I ended up uploading it to the patient sketchbook. It occurred to me I haven't tried putting up Wear's brother on there. I should actually put him up there because I had his design completed for like a while now. I've been had him printed out even before I started working on the comic, so I'm like, why haven't I done anything with this? As I was saying, I ended up messing around with him from like 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And while I was on, I ended up checking Tumblr and I found this artist was trying to sell their token Rambo figures. And I was surprised because like it's all the ones that are really hard to find now. And she claims she got them all from the Good Smile Company website. And I'm a little nervous. She is an artist, so I'm kind of feeling like maybe I could trust her. I don't know, I feel kind of uncomfortable with it because like it's so easy to get bootlegs of these figures. It's not even funny. But she said that she got them from the Good Smile website, and she was just needs to make room, so she has to get rid of them. She also has Nendros, but she said that she didn't have time to like sort through all of them. So I asked her, okay, how far are you willing to ship to? And I sent her that message, and because like Monica and I were talking about going through with it, because like Mikazuki's in the hundreds now. He's like $100 now, and like she was thinking about selling the figures between $30 to $50, and I was like, oh my god. I kind of I feel like a bit of a hypocrite because I'm bemoaning buying 9S, and here I go, and I'm trying to get token Rambo figures. I guess because I'm getting more for my buck technically when you think about it. I don't know, and I'm not really that into Nier Automata, which is why I don't feel like I'm like really dedicated to getting 9S. Alrighty, so what did we do after that? I think we went to bed. I don't remember what time we went to bed. I'm going to say it was like 5 or 6. That's typically usually when we fall asleep. I woke up at 3. I didn't get out of bed until 4 though. And I resumed working on the extras for chapter 23. I finished the artwork, but I haven't put the text on it yet. And then I ended up loading from chapter 14 to chapter, I'm going to say like 16 to the official site. I still need to do from 17 to 20, and I'll be done with it. I kicked Monica out of bed at 6. We ate breakfast, and then I line arted 2 out of the 3 remaining extras I needed to do. It's the second part extra for chapter 27, I think, and I ended up going back on about like I think it was 8:30, and I edited them and passed them off to Monica. That figuring girl replied back to me. She said that she's willing to ship anywhere between North and South America for free. And I told her I was in California, and I asked her how much does she want for Yastu, Gokotai, and Mikazuki together. I didn't tell her initially when I first asked her that I wanted the 3 of them. I told her I'm interested in 3 of them and where you're shipping to, and that's all I told her. So I'm going to see what she says about the prices of the characters, and yeah. So while we were on, Monica revealed to me that she can't get back into our old SBC Global account for Yahoo Mail, because like my dad had to make this SBC Global account back when we first started getting what was it, broadband from AT&T. And when we first got AT&T for us here, she had to use the same account. So now that I think about it, she should be able to get into it. Because like I'm just realized something right now, because like she can't get into it, I couldn't get into it either, and yet somehow I'm still able to get into the AT&T website with the same password. That's so odd. I gotta double check it, because like we can't get in through Yahoo, but we can get in through regular AT&T. That makes no sense. Okay, I better double check that, because I would suck if we can't get into the AT&T website either. maybe it could help me out with that. I don't know, because it's supposed to be the same exact email system. I don't know. She used that email to look for jobs, so that she was trying to see if those jobs ever got back to her, and she can't get back into the email. We tried every single password we had, even the password that specific email is supposed to respond to. I don't know. I'll look into it. Maybe I can find it, because like last month I ended up paying it twice, once straight through the website, and I was able to get through it just fine. So maybe I can. I don't know. Whatever. She thinks that if Yahoo's trying to phase out the SBC Global thing, but like that would suck, because like I think certain things are linked up to that email address. I'm not sure. I'm a little concerned that her bank account's actually linked up to that email address. That would be bad if it is. Oh my god. Alrighty, so where do we leave off? After that, I worked up until like 10 a.m. We ate lunch and we left for Fullerton. We hit Burlington Coat Factory when we arrived. We wandered around. They have all sorts of stuff up in center for Christmas. Lots of gift baskets and toys. A lot of stuff is very like either not relevant anymore or like not interesting. We looked at all the Christmas decor they were selling in the decor section. That we flipped through all the books. There's nothing new for the books. So we were interested in seeing more books, so we went to Marshall's for the first time. The Marshall's over here, and because we'd never been to it before. And we wandered around there, saw some really nice bags and stuff, but the books kind of sucked. And the toys weren't anything to write home about. What was really cool was all the cooking stuff. They had a really nice pot Monica liked, and I want to get it. It's like $10. So yeah, after that we hit Office Depot. While on our way there, we found that the old Lee's sandwiches was smashed in order to make a Panera bread. That was surprising. Didn't expect to see that. So we're getting a Panera bread now. And the Toys R Us is still a Halloween City store. So yeah. We checked out Office Depot. Everything that was for sale during school supply season is now in the clearance section. There's a lot of stuff there that I actually liked. I wanted to check to see what they had for stickers. They actually do have the sticker paper I was interested in getting, but they don't have the clear sticker paper anymore. They completely ran out of that. So yeah, after that we ended up seeing C's Candies. We got a couple of samples. We looked at the prices of the things Monica wanted to get. We're hoping to get it for either next month or Christmas. And then we checked out Big Five across the street, and we saw one helmet I wanted to get. I wasn't sure if it was for kids or adults, but I really need to replace my helmet because my helmet's already like a couple of years old, which means it's not good anymore. And we saw some big corded string bags for traveling that we wanted to get, but like not sure about the patterns on them, because what's annoying stuff about sports stuff is it's never pretty. It's always like ugly. Alrighty. And then we headed home. We found various bottles on the way home, and we got back just now at like 2. So it's about 2 o'clock. I'm recording. This is what I need to do. I'm almost done with the volume 3 cover for Smack Jeeves. All I need to do is just finish tweaking it here and there, and then I can apply it to the size of the thing. I don't know if it's gonna fit, because I think it might be a little too tall for the Smack Jeeves cover thing. I hope it's fine. And I'm a little worried that Pasha doesn't stick out enough. I'm concerned that he blends in too much of everybody else. But at the same time, I just feel like I have to deal with it. I can't do anything else for him at the moment. So that's as much as I can think of. I can't think of anything else to say. Starting tomorrow, I want to haul ass on specific things I've been slacking off on. I have one more extra I need to line art. It's half line art. I just need to finish the background for it. And then I need to do the chapter 25. The chapter 25 extra I've had it like laying around. I have not worked on it. And then I need to do all of the comics, and I've had that written down for a while. These sort of 4-panel comics, I have a ton of them. I know that I ended up thinking through it out loud in one of the last recordings, so I'm not going to do that again. So if I have a chance either today or tomorrow or the day after, I need to work on those. So between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I want to try to knock all those out. I won't want them in the way anymore. I also need to finish the Happy 30 chapters that needs to go to. So I don't want to be working on any of those, especially when I go back to working on the next chapter next week. Is there anything else? I think that's virtually it. I cannot think of anything else to say. Monica says we need lettuce. I don't know when she wants to go get it though. This is the last recording, so I have to be editing audio on top of all this stuff. So I'm gonna start editing audio right away. I don't know how far I'm gonna get. I usually make it at least 3 files in, but I want to get it done soon. Is there anything else that's on my mind? No, I think that's virtually it. Alrighty then, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one.